Astrology isn't just about signs and symbols. It's a tool for navigating real life. Hello, and welcome to Astrology with Alisa. I'm your host, Alisa Dixon, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. This weekend, Saturn stationed to go retrograde. When a planet stations, whether it's to go retrograde or direct, it's at its strongest. It appears to stand still in the sky. And when Saturn stands still, we feel it. With Saturn being such a slow-moving outer planet, this pause can last 7 to 10 days energetically. And I've been feeling it, and thinking about it, and talking about it. On Sunday, I was part of a live webinar on the Fun Astrology YouTube channel, co-hosting with my friends Thomas and Kristen, and sharing my thoughts on Saturn and Aries. And it really got me thinking more deeply about what Saturn is all about. Structure, discipline, boundaries, all Saturn themes. But Saturn also rules something else, the father. In your birth chart, Saturn's placement can tell you a lot about your relationship with your dad. Here's something I love about astrology. The people in your life all show up in your chart. You just need to know where to look. For example, the moon often represents your mother. Mercury might be a child. And Saturn, that's the father. So, since Saturn is especially strong in the sky right now, it got me thinking about my own father and how the astrology has become very loud in my chart ever since Saturn moved into Aries at the end of May. My father, Saturn, has been managing back pain for years. But just a few weeks after Saturn shifted into Aries, he learned he needs back surgery. And very soon. Well, get this. Saturn rules the spine, the bones, the skeletal structure of the body. And my dad's surgery involves removing bones and fusing his vertebrae to correct what's broken down in the structure of his body. And the doctor said he needs this surgery ASAP. That's Saturn in Aries. Aries brings urgency, and Mars is the ruler of Aries. Guess what else Mars rules? Surgery. There's the astrology in action. Isn't that wild? Now, not everyone is going to have father-related health events. There are so many layers to how astrology shows up in a chart. And it's hitting me more personally since I have a lot of what we call cardinal energy. Let me break down what that means. The cardinal signs are initiators. They begin the seasons. Aries starts spring, Cancer begins summer, Libra kicks off fall, and Capricorn begins winter. These signs mark the equinox and solstice points at the beginning of each season. And just like the 4 seasons, we divide the zodiac by 4, creating 3 groups: cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs. So the cardinal signs begin the seasons. They initiate energy and create momentum. The fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, they follow the cardinal signs and stabilize that energy. The mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, they follow the fixed signs and prepare us to change again for the next season. If you think about which months belong to which zodiac sign, you'll notice that correlation to the calendar. These 3 groups, cardinal, fixed, and mutable, are what we call the modalities in astrology. They describe how each sign expresses energy and responds to change. It's the style of the sign, you could say. And just like the season shift, these modalities also show up in people. Cardinal signs are the initiators. They like to get things moving, start projects, launch ideas, lead the charge. Fixed signs are the stabilizers. They maintain what's already in motion. They hold steady, follow through, commit. They sometimes get a bad rap for being stubborn, but really they're just solid. And mutable signs, they're the adapters, flexible, curious, and comfortable with change. They're the ones helping us shift gears and move into what's next. So when you know your sign, or better yet, your chart, It's not just about what sign you are, it's about how you move through life. So remember last week when I said planets in the same element work well together? It's an easy, flowing energy. Well, this is a different story. When planets are in the same modality, like all the cardinal signs, for example, they don't flow, they compete. It creates friction, stress, pressure. But pressure isn't always bad. It pushes us to act, to decide, to grow. And that's exactly what Saturn in Aries is doing right now. It's turning up the pressure on anyone with strong cardinal energy in their chart. If you've got planets in Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, especially in the early degrees, you're probably feeling it. I know I am. I'm an Aries sun, Capricorn moon, and a Capricorn rising. All three of my big three are cardinal. I've also got 5 other planets in cardinal signs. That's a lot of cardinal energy, and it's showing up loudly in my chart through my dad's surgery. Now, Saturn energy isn't always heavy. It can be incredibly rewarding, like receiving a college diploma, for example. I have a friend with an Aries moon and a Libra rising, both cardinal, and she just completed her bachelor's degree. In fact, she texted me this week with a picture of the diploma that arrived in the mail. This week, while Saturn was stationed and super strong in the sky. Saturn is also about achievement, recognition, being honored for years of hard work. And over the next 2.5 years, Saturn will continue moving through Aries, testing our boundaries, sharpening our focus, and building our resilience. It may not feel easy, but it's powerful. Saturn is slow, but steady. He doesn't bring fluff. He brings structure, discipline, hard work, lasting change, like my dad's new back and my friend's college degree. And Saturn's energy will show up for everyone, wherever Aries is in your chart. It's just going to be louder if you have natal planets that connect directly to it. If you've got cardinal energy, Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, you're in the spotlight. Saturn's asking you to build something stronger, whether that's in your health, your work, your relationships, or your home, but you'll know it when he shows up. And if you have planets in fire signs, Leo or Sagittarius, that's the same element as Aries. There's that flow. This could be a time of supportive momentum where discipline meets inspiration. No matter where Saturn is working in your chart, there's always a way to move forward with clarity and purpose. So if you're curious how this Saturn transit is showing up for you, or if you want to understand your own chart on a deeper level, I'd love to explore it with you. You can book a reading with me anytime. Just head over to my website, www.astrologywithalisa.com, and grab a time on my calendar. I'd love to dive deeper with you. And if you missed the YouTube live webinar on Sunday and you'd like to check it out, I'll leave the link to the replay in the show notes. There's also now a video version of this podcast on my YouTube channel. So if you'd rather watch than listen, you can find that link in the show notes too. Please like and subscribe so you'll get notified whenever I post a new video. Here's one more way Saturn is showing up in my life, bringing my astrology work to new platforms. Thanks again for listening and take care. I'll see you next time.